Enjoy Manx Radio on air and online via manxradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and via our Manx Radio apps. Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.
Thustamai, and a very good evening to you. It's Judith here in the studio presenting another hour today at the Guild. Got off to a great start, spent the last minute thinking, where are my glasses? Where were they? On the end of my nose. Tell you, I'm not fit to be let out unsupervised, am I? Let's start off with some brilliant music, because once again we've had a day of huge talent, great variety. This is the Guild that goes on giving, and I do hope that you are enjoying listening to our winning performances as much as I'm enjoying playing them for you. We had 2 more qualifiers today for the Sheffield Plate, the highest honour that the Guild offers to our young singers. And it was Megan Boardman who sang in the first class of the day, the girls' solo for school years 9 and 10, so this is up to age 14 and 15-year-olds. The accompanist is Jill Collins. This is a test piece, and it's the complete song from The Wizard of Oz, the very, very well-known Over the Rainbow. And this is the winning performance. This is how Megan Boardman sang herself in to the Sheffield Plate final that will be on Friday night. Over the Rainbow with Megan Boardman.
Opens a magic lane. melts like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Megan Boardman taking us there away over the rainbow. Her accompanist Jill Collins, and Megan will be singing for the Sheffield Plate on the Royal Hall stage on Friday night. And the competition that followed that was for another place in the Sheffield Plate final for slightly younger age group for 12 and 13-year-olds, and that one was won by Evie Skillicorn. She got the same mark as Megan, in fact, 89. And we'll play Evie's song in just a few moments. But from our very promising young singers to somebody who just can turn out winning performance after winning performance, Peter Cringle has been taking part in the Guild for a fair number of years. He started at a very, very young age. And he just has the right song for the moment, and he knows how to deliver a class-winning performance. And he did that on stage last night. The class was the Victorian or Edwardian Ballad. It's an own choice class. And it was anything that's been written up to 1920. And again, the accompanist Jill Collins and Peter took a first place with Parted by Tosti. This is Peter Cringle to sing for you now.
Dearest, our day is over, ended the dream divine. You must go back to your life, I must go back to mine. Back to the joyless duties, back to the fruitless tears, loving and yet divided, all through the empty years. How can I live without you? How can I let you go? I that you love so well, dear, you that I worship so, you that I worship so. Dearest, the night is passing, wane the trembling moon. Hark how the wind ariseth, morn will be here so soon. Tell me again you will love me, kiss me on lips and brow. Love of my soul, I love you. How can I leave you now? How can I live without you? How can I let you go? I that you love so well, dear, you that I worship so.
And that was the performance that secured a first place for Peter Cringle in the Victorian or Edwardian Ballad class. That was in the Royal Hall last night. Now, somebody we haven't heard from all week is going to sing for you now. And you might be wondering why I haven't mentioned the name of Mandy Griffin. Well, I'm going to now, because she won the Operatic Solo class, and that was also on stage in the Royal Hall last night. Now, the lovely thing that Mandy was saying to me a while ago was that she has a great diversity to her music career. She's a very respected teacher. She also has a performance career as well, and she loves to take part in the Guild. She's passionate about the Guild. In fact, she did a thesis on it as part of her doctorate about music festivals in general, the Guild in particular. So absolutely passionate about the Guild itself, but she said that she really enjoys just taking part in the classes that she gets the most amount of pleasure from. So, you know, she has her Cleveland medals and enjoyed that experience, but she picks a class that, like piano accompaniment or something like that, that she will get a real pleasure from and a real challenge. And I think when you listen to this, you will realise that Mandy has chosen very carefully, it's an own choice class, that she's chosen very carefully something that she's clearly enjoying singing. It's an operatic solo that she's singing and she's acting as well. What she's chosen is the piece is called I Was a Constant Faithful Wife. It's from The Bear by William Walton, which is based on a play by Chekhov, and it is described as an extravaganza in one act. And I tell you that when you listen to this, you will realise that Mandy can get the whole of an extravaganza into one song, really. And the idea of it is Popova, who is the character that Mandy's character in this song. Popova she's mourning her late husband, Popov, and she's keeping his memory alive and she's distraught. But it becomes clear during the course of this operetta that her loyalty is misplaced, and Popov wasn't quite such a devoted husband as she would like us to believe that he was. Anyway, one of Popov's creditors, Smirnov, arrives to see if he can get some money out of Popova. And they have a dreadful argument and a fight and all the rest of it. Anyway, in the end, they fall in love. So there we go. Everybody works out nicely in the end. However, things are not going quite so well in this song. It's the accompanist here is Madeline Kelly. Mandy Griffin won the operatic solo class, and here she is to sing for you, I Was a Constant Faithful Wife. And let me warn you, she does sound quite fierce here, but sings very splendidly.
Let me tell you the truth. I was a constant, faithful wife, every temptation scorning, and shall be constant all my life. Morning, morning, morning. Morning, 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 morning. Defend my husband if you can. What was a constant, faithful wife, every temptation scorning, and shall remain so all my life. And shall remain so all my life. In morning, 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 morning.
Excellent, excellent. It's not easy to cry and sing in tune at the same time, is it? Mandy Griffin, winner of the Operatic Solo class. And now, as we say, for something completely different.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.
And the word is choirs, because this afternoon, we started with the first of the children's choir classes, and this is where the character of the guild changes as we move through the week. And we start with some of the children's choirs. There'll be more of them as the days go on, and then of course we've got the splendid festival of adult choirs on Saturday, the culmination of the whole of the guild, and that's going to be something very, very special. I'll tell you more about that in detail tomorrow, but all I will say is if you can get down to the Villa Marina on Saturday night, you will have such a wonderful night, such a variety of music, in the same way as the brass bands on last Sunday gave us a mini concert. All of the choirs who will be taking part on Saturday night will be producing a mini concert for you with so much variety. It's going to be great. If you can get down, do please. It'll be a brilliant night's entertainment. Truly something for everybody. And we're going to have something lovely now, because we had boys' choirs and girls' choirs in the Royal Hall this afternoon. Boys' choirs up to year 6, so that's just up to 11-year-olds, and girls' choirs for the same category up to age 11. Now, I do think that it's particularly tricky to get boys to sing in a choir, isn't it? You know, it's not play football, yes, join a choir, Very gifted music teachers can do it, and I'm happy to say they do it to a great standard. We had 4 boys' choirs competing this afternoon. They're all great, and the honours go on this occasion to Cronk School. They took a first place in this boys' choirs class, and it was an open choice, and all the rules said was that you had to choose 2 contrasting pieces. And here's Cronky School to sing for you their 2 contrasting pieces that won them the class. Cronky Boys' Choir.
When it's late at night and the stars shine bright and the moon in the clouds is riding, if you hear a moan, do not walk alone, for someone may be hiding. There are tales of old of a creature old who appears when the wind is howling, with a flash of red and a shake of head seems mighty shadow prowling. won't give no rest. I won't give up, no, I won't give in, till I reach the end and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I can fail. I won't give up, no, I won't give in, till I reach the end and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I can fail. I'll keep on making those new mistakes. I'll keep on making them every day. Those new mistakes. Try everything. Try everything. Try everything.
Well-deserved, rousing applause there for class winners Cronky School, their boys' choir, for up to Year 6. And the first song, the Moddey Dhoo, was written by Lynn Marsh. The second song, incidentally, was called Try Everything. But Lynn Marsh adjudicated here at the Guild quite a few years ago now, but I do remember her distinctly. Lovely lady. And she absolutely, completely fell in love with the island and its music. And as you might be aware, especially if you've got youngsters in primary school, she's written a lot of very, very child-friendly music, and she has written several works especially for school children on the island. So a great connection there. And now let's go back to the qualifiers for the Sheffield Plate. We heard at the beginning of the programme Megan Boardman, who earned her place by winning her solo voice class this morning. And now we're going to listen to Evie Skillicorn. She won the second class for the slightly younger age range, 12 to 13s. Evie Skillicorn is going to sing for you now, and this is how she earned her place to sing for the Sheffield Plate tomorrow night. This is Evie Skillicorn and the big song from Whistle Down the Wind. Frank Woolley is her accompanist.
Let your voices carry, drown out all the rain, light a patch of darkness, treacherous and scary. Oh, let the stars whisper when you're sleeping. I'll be there to hold you, I'll be there to stop the chills and all the weeping. Make it clear and strong, so the whole night long, every signal that you send until the very end, I will not abandon you, my precious friend. So try and stem the tide, then you'll raise a banner, send a flare up in the sky, try to burn a torch and try to build a bonfire. Every signal that you send until the very end, I'm here. So whistle down the wind, for I have always been right here. Make it clear and strong, so the whole night long, every signal that you send until the very end, I will not abandon you, my precious friend. So try and stem the tide, then you'll raise a banner, send a flare up in the sky, try to burn a torch and try to build a bonfire. Every signal that you send until the very end, I'm there. So whistle down the wind, for I have always been right there.
That beautiful, expressive singing from all our young vocalists, that's Evie Skillicorn. And just a little reminder of who will be competing on Friday night. And then I'll tell you the programme for Friday night. But we've got Isaac Kreisky, Lucy Morris, Ethan Wiley, Anna Tamarova, Kendra Metcalf, Megan Boardman, and Evie Skillicorn. There's one more place to be filled, the boys' treble solo for school years 7 to 9, and that will be decided first thing tomorrow morning. And then we'll have a boy's name to fill in that gap, and then we'll have all our contenders for the Sheffield Plate. So Friday night in the Royal Hall, it starts at 7 o'clock, and it begins with the Sheffield Plate competition. So all those young people will sing their set song, their test piece, once again. A different adjudicator will listen to them. Their past performance, like for the Cleveland Medal, the past performance has no relevance to this. The adjudicator, John Pomfrey, who has not heard these young people sing, he will judge their performance tomorrow night. So that's the Sheffield Plate. Then we move on to the vocal duets final. And this is for the Balaun Rose Bowl. It's the winners of the mixed voice duet, the male voice duet and ladies voice duet. And they will all sing again, competing against each other for that top prize of the Balaun Rose Bowl. And that will be followed by the Cleveland Medal test. And we were talking about this last night. We now know all the people taking part. The 3 highest marked entrants across all classes, S2, S3 and S4. Those are the ladies' special solo voice classes. And the highest marked entrants across classes S5, S6 and S7, which are the men's special solo voice classes. So we've got Karen Elliott, Ruth Tickle, Linda Corkish, Matthew Quinn, Paul Costain and Terry Qualtrough. They will be competing for the Cleveland Medal. And then it's not finished yet. We have to finish the evening, the vocal ensemble class for years 9 and over. So that's for 14-year-olds and over. So what that means is that we've got groups of adults like the parents of Ballacottia School, the Londu Ensemble, but we've also got younger groups drawn from the secondary schools, and that is going to be a lovely way to finish the evening. So how about that? 7 o'clock onwards in the Royal Hall tomorrow night. That's the finals, and then we have all the concerts on Saturday night. And of course there's competitions during the day as well. Like I say, this is the Guild that goes on giving. Now, brand new class. Let's talk about this because I've been mentioning this on numerous occasions in the run-up to the Guild. And we've 2 new classes, and one of them is yet to take place. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow night. It's the stand-up comedy. So we'll just leave that for a moment. That's going to be in the Promenade Suite tomorrow night. So if that is more your taste, you might like to come along and pop down into the Promenade Suite. And then when all of that's over, you can come up and listen to the rest of the evening in the Royal Hall. Not a bad deal, is it? But last night we had the competition for news reading. Now, this it's a spoken word class, but we put it in a different way by asking the competitors to I'll explain how it works. And we said in the rules that each person taking part in the class would be given 3 stories, which they would be given a short time before the class starts to read through, and it will be up to them to decide the order in which the 3 stories should be read and to present the 3 stories in the style of a news bulletin. And the stage was set out with a table and a microphone on the table, and just to create the kind of the suggestion of an environment of a news studio in a radio station. And then it was up to the competitors to decide how they would present themselves and present the material. We had 2 classes. One was for up to 18-year-olds and one was for 18-year-olds and over. We're going to listen now to the winner of the class for the younger age range, up to 18s. This is Danielle Wilkinson. Danielle Wilkinson, and she won her class. And as I say, those were the rules. She was presented with the 3 stories with a very short time to prepare them, to prioritise them, and to deliver this news bulletin. This is Danielle Wilkinson.
You are listening to the Guild Radio News Bulletin. I am Danielle Wilkinson, and it is Wednesday the 1st of May, 2019. They may look cute, but wild wallabies are causing havoc on the roads of the Isle of Man. Around 160 wallabies are believed to be roaming the Manx countryside, after a pair escaped from a wildlife park in 1965. A spokesperson for the Isle of Man Constabulary said that dealing with incidents involving wallabies is all in a day's work for the Manx police force. On one occasion, officers had to wade into the sea near Ramsey after a wallaby was found struggling in the water with a broken leg. In another case, which could have had serious consequences, a driver crashed his car into a wall whilst trying to avoid a wallaby in the road. Sergeant Tony Lawler said, "We are not alone in dealing with wallabies. There are also large groups in Scotland and in Bedfordshire. They don't attack people or pose any threat, but they can cause collisions in the same way as hares or rabbits." In other news, a primary school on the Calf of Man is to give pupils Friday afternoons off. From September, Kitterland Community School will close its gates at 12:15 p.m. rather than 3:20 p.m. on Fridays. The school insists that this is not a way to give teachers an afternoon off, nor is it a way of saving money. Instead, it argues that Friday afternoon lessons are pointless since youngsters are short of attention and focus after a full week of classes. The school claims that the move will improve children's education, as well as enabling families to spend more quality time together. The move was greeted with a mixed response from parents, with one mother saying, "It's a really good idea. I know that by Friday afternoon, the kids are burnt out and don't take anything in." Meanwhile, another pupil's father said, "This is ridiculous. Both my wife and I work, so this will mean one of us having to take Friday afternoons off to look after our kids." On a more positive note, the head of Chicken Rock Primary, also in the parish of Rushen, has announced a new move to deal with pupils who constantly fidget in class. All 7 and 8-year-olds are to be given floor-mounted pedalling machines. It is hoped that whilst the children pedal, they will stop fidgeting, stay in their seats and pay more attention to the teachers. As an added benefit, spending a school day on a pedalling machine can burn as many as 600 calories. Our final story tonight. A supermarket chain has launched a gender-neutral gingerbread person in order to be inclusive and has asked the public to choose a suitable name. Shoppers have been encouraged to sign up to Tesco's website and submit their suggestions for a name which would suit a gender-neutral biscuit. The gingerbread person will have clothing which will change according to the season, with appropriate icing sugar outfits for Halloween and Christmas. The announcement has been greeted with amusement. Shopper Marvin Butler tweeted, "How about Snowflake?" I'm Danielle Wilkinson, and that is all for this evening, and I'll be back again next year. Good night.
I think that Danielle Wilkinson is superb. Now, do bear in mind that those are long stories and she had very, very short preparation time. It's only a short time to read through the stories. And don't you think we've got a newsreader of the future there? Well, I certainly do. Congratulations to Danielle Wilkinson on a Clouds win there, making history as the first person to win the newsreading Clouds in the Guild. Now, that, as I say, was for up to age 18. Then we had a Clouds for adults, and this was a hotly contested battle. Some excellent potential newsreaders in this Clouds. But the first place went to Toby Smith. Now, I hope Toby will forgive me, but for the constraints of time, just because I want to put as much as I can into the hour, that I have slightly edited Tony's bulletin, but I hope I've done it in a way that you will still be able to recognise and appreciate the style in which Toby Smith, Clouds winner for the adult newsreading Clouds, I hope you'll be able to appreciate the style in which he delivered his news bulletin. This is Toby Smith.
Good evening. I'm Toby Smith, and this is the Promenade Suite News on Wednesday, the 1st of May at 8:30 and a bit. Farmers are being blamed for creating a wave of drug-resistant fungi that can infect people's lungs or their blood. Several forms of this super fungi have emerged, often infecting people with weak immune systems. They're also becoming common in hospitals, causing post-operative blood infections. And finally, skateboarding, skipping and joling are not activities usually associated with Japanese monks. But Japan's usually serene religious men have adopted these new pursuits in order to prove that the kimono they wear does not hold them back, or, specifically, that it does not prevent them from driving safely. This follows the prosecution of a monk in Yamagata Prefecture, who was fined for, in the opinion of the police, taking the wheel whilst wearing a Japanese robe which could interfere with driving. Police decided that the sleeves and hem of his robe were too long for driving. The man, who was on his way to a Buddhist memorial service, was fined 6,000 yen, about £45, but has refused to pay. Now, his fellow monks have taken to the streets in protest to show what they are capable of doing whilst wearing their religious attire. Many posted videos of themselves on social media, juggling, exercising, and riding scooters. One even filmed himself skateboarding down a hill. "If I can do this much," he said, "surely driving is not a problem." That was the news. I've been Toby Smith. You've been lovely to read to. Good night.
What a nice way to end the news bulletin. You could take any kind of bad news from Toby Smith, couldn't you? And he won the class for adults, the adult class for news reading, and was the first person to receive the Ian Cannell Trophy. And lovely that we have that and another award in the Guild, remembering somebody who gave, again, a tremendous amount to Ireland Life, also a tremendous amount to the Guild, and of course had an association here with Manx Radio. So a very precious award to add to our other impressive, very impressive collection of trophies awarded during this festival. We're going to hear from another of our very popular singers right now.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.
Paul Costain he also has earned a place in the final for the Cleveland Medal Test. It is an experience that Paul is quite familiar with, as he's got a couple of Cleveland medals under his belt already. But who will be taking the medal home tomorrow night? Well, we shall have to wait and see. But from his choice of songs, and you might, if you were listening last night, I was mentioning that it's not exactly own choice, but in our special solo classes, the singers have been given three groups of composers from which they can pick. They can't pick two songs from any one group, though. They must pick their two songs from two separate groups. And this is one of Paul's choices, and it's a Vaughan-Williams song, and it's Hugh's Song of the Road. This is Paul Costain, and he is accompanied by Gareth Moore.
Horses thunder down the valleys, foaming manes and tossing tails, strength and speed and fire. Thudding, scampering, checks and sudden sallies, hear them up the mountain, high, still and high. Till we meet the wind, race wind and down the hollows, drive the wind before us, leave it streaming out behind us. Again the panting wind that follows, not the wind of heaven itself, we dare to catch and that bind us. Horses coming, passing by, do they call you in the noonday when the blood runs high? Campfires, now the west is glowing, send their ruddy smoke up to greet the brightening moon. Not a roof to shield your head from free winds blowing, not a wall to deaden the water's lulling tune. Cooking round the campfire's busy sounds and cheery, meat and drink for belly and the clinging turf for side. Oh, to stretch your length when your back and bones are weary. Dewy sleep on closing eyes from heaven's open wide. stretch out empty arms and fold a wandering air. All the scented night breathes of beauty and of loving heartbeats, and so with a broken cry, calling for a bride with courage to go roving, to dare the world full of beneath the open sky. Heartbeat, throbbing for the bride. Do they call you in the midnight to a strong man's side?
The mighty voice of Paul Costain and Hugh's Song of the Road by Ralph Vaughan-Williams, and his accompanist was Gareth Moore. And just a little word of appreciation for our accompanist. I was listening to Marilyn Cannell accompanying Mandy Griffin just earlier on, and just superb playing. And Mandy was just one in a class, in that particular case, in a class of eight different pieces, all of that same complexity. And Marilyn just sat down, played them through. Gareth has been playing for all kinds of different classes. He's been accompanying singers, he's been accompanying solo instrumentalists earlier today, and all of our accompanists working so hard and with such versatility, and all the time concentrating, supporting the person who's actually being adjudicated. So we can't mention them too often, can we? Huge debt of gratitude for all that they do. Brilliant job. Now, here's a lady this is just lovely to see Marilyn Cannell having the opportunity to be a competitor in the Guild. For 25 years, she was an official accompanist, and we all remember, when she used to play for the Victorian and Edwardian ballads, and she would always wear her lovely big Victorian or Edwardian hat with a big feather on it, and her shawl. She would always join in and just give that little tone to the class, wouldn't she? And so now she's done that, she's retired from that, and now she can be a competitor. And she's having a very successful Guild. She won the public speaking with 90 marks earlier in the week, and last night she won the music composition class. Now, the brief for this is quite simply to maintain a link with our cultural heritage. The challenge is to compose a piece of music that, if it were performed, would be for a maximum of 5 performers on a Manx theme. Simple as that. Now, the adjudication is done just by the adjudicator looking at the sheet music. So you don't have to perform it. The performance is not part of the adjudication. However, you are invited, those taking part are invited to put on a performance of their piece of music if they wish. And 2 out of the 3 in the class did. And so that's great, because we can now hear Marilyn singing her own composition. But let's first make mention of the other 2 competitors in the class who came a joint second. They were Timothy Price, and his piece was called God is Love, and it was performed by Morag Withy. She was singing beautifully, and accompanied on piano by John Riley. And Marcus Boyd, his composition was called A Pastoral for Winds, and he was in joint second place with Timothy, but he didn't arrange a performance of his piece. Now, I don't think we're going to have time to play both Timothy and Marilyn in this hour of the programme, but I can promise you that we'll play Timothy's either tomorrow or over my weekend coverage, because, of course, we've got an hour's music tomorrow night, and we've got Sunday night when Sundown will be going to the Guild and not only bringing you all the highlights from the finals nights, but also we'll be putting in some other performances that we just simply haven't had time for. But let's listen now to Marilyn Cannell, winner of the music composition class. And the song that Marilyn has written and is going to sing for you now is The Mermaid and the Apple Tree. Marilyn Cannell.
I sit and I sing on Bogham rocks. I'll bring good luck to thee. The fisher folk will drop apples for the children of the sea. And one of them, young Danny Sale, is very dear to me. And the wild, wild waters have taken to places that I'll never know. I'll sit on the rocks here at Bogham and watch for the apples to grow. One day Danny said, I have to go. I pray thee do not fret. There's many places in the world that I have not seen yet. I'll plant for you an apple tree, so you will not forget. Now the wild, wild waters have taken to places where I'll never go. I'll sit on the rocks here at Bogham and wait for the apples to grow. I sit and I sing on Bogham rocks. The seasons come and go. I watch, I wait, but the apple tree, it's taking its time to grow. I'll journey off to find my love within the tidal flow. And the wild, wild waters will take me to places that I'll never know. I'll sat at the rocks here at Bogham and watched for the apples to grow, and watch for the apples to grow.
Beautiful, wistful song. Marilyn Cannell's own composition, The Mermaid and the Apple Tree. The music composition winning performance there. Well, we are rapidly coming to the magic hour of 10 o'clock. I hope you're going to stay tuned. Andy Wint will be along in 5 or 6 minutes with your late show. But ahead of that, I have but 2 words to say to you, and the words are Joshua Brown. Now, if you are a keen Guild follower, you will remember that this brilliant instrumentalist just blew us away last year with his fabulous saxophone playing, and he has done it again. And that's how we're going to end this programme, with a wonderful piece of music from instrumentalist Joshua Brown playing his soprano saxophone. He's accompanied by Gareth Moore. The piece, which is Pequena Czarda, is his own arrangement, and this is How I Leave You.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.